Very impressive. Woohoo! G'day guys, Ronnie Dale, Four Wheeling Australia. Welcome to Lancelot Sand Dunes. I've been looking forward to this moment since I bought this car. The sand dunes, the most fun place to take a brand new four-wheel drive because you can just open it right up. We got big dunes, we got little dunes, we got a soft beach down there. Let's put this thing through its paces and let's try and get this thing stuck. It's a whole heap of fun testing your vehicle on sand dunes. It's probably one of the best areas, actually the best area to have fun with your vehicle. Just gotta be careful if you're not used to driving sand dunes. Down to 15 psi, feels really good. I did lose the back end just before because I think I'm so light. High range, open diffs, power mode, in drive, so I haven't selected a gear, just want to see how it handles. So here we go. This is a whole lot of fun. Woohoo! It's like driving a car on a sand dune, but it just handles it really well. This reminds me of the old Luxy days. Here we go. Oh, can you hear a bit of noise? A bit of engine noise. I doubt there's much coming out of the exhaust though. Going down a steep sand dune now. Here we go, we're in low range. Boom. In we go to gear. Select first gear low. Let's see how we go. Go, go, go. First gear low. Take your stock Hilux down a steep dune. Hope everything's sitting there alright. Ah, it holds the speed really good. Feel the back slipping a bit, eh? Right, just, I don't know if it is, but it feels like it's slipping. It is slipping. Not fast enough. A bit more speed. Yeah, back end's slipping, eh? Alright, here we go. Very impressive. That was awesome. As I experienced on the first descent, the rear end was slipping around a little bit, as you can see right there. So now we're going to try again with the locker engaged and see if that makes a difference. Rear diff lock engaged. Here we go. Still sliding out, eh? Even with the rear locker engaged, the back end is still too light and slips around a bit. So if you do head out there with an unladdered ute, just be mindful of the back end. Here we go again. We're going to try complete drive this time. Up to 4 gears. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh, this is so much fun. Confidence is high. I'm getting used to the vehicle now, so let's try an even bigger dune. This one is a bit of a monster. We're going to go down a little bit faster to try and prevent the back end from slipping. So it'll be good to see what happens right here, right now. Let's check it out. This is almost bloody vertical. That's awesome. Go Luxy. That is awesome. We are now going to try downhill assist. And here we go. Downhill assist is on. Let's see how we go. So pumping the brakes. Sounds interesting. Sounds like something's braking. Downhill assist. Done. That actually took it down nice and easy. I'm actually impressed with that. Okay. You don't have to do anything these days. The cars do everything for you. Commencing Batman test. You know, Batman upside down in a tunnel. Not as extreme as Batman, but about that extreme. Good fun. Unfortunately, the tide was too high, so the beach was out of the question. So we hit in the sand tracks. Now there is a sand hill that has a few divots in it and gets a few people unstuck. Let's see how the stock Luxy goes up that with 15 psi and a lot of oomph. Lock in. All right, let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Coming around the first corner, second corner. Oh, we're further. There we go. And we did it. Really feeling like I'm putting this vehicle through its paces. Whoa. Thought I was going to bottom out then. All right, here we go. Power and torque, excellent. It actually surprises me how much it has on the dunes. I was a little bit worried it wouldn't have the oomph on the really steep stuff, but it's really handled it well. 15 psi, just eating everything up at the moment. Let's talk about the gear changing. The gear changing seems to be happening at the right time. It holds the right gear. Now you can go into manual mode and sort of switch up and down, and that limits to where it'll gear up to. So if you leave it in first, which you should do for going down these steep sand dunes, it stays in first. If you put it up to second, it will skip up to second at some point. So I'm finding definitely with this Hilux, going down hills on sand dunes, you definitely need first gear low. Second gear low is a bit too fast. In terms of it changing, especially in sports mode, it feels kind of violent. Like it really just jams the gear. It's like almost like driving a manual. Like it just goes like you're dropping the clutch as it's grabbing them. I'm sure it must be okay, but it just feels really sort of violent, I should say. It doesn't feel smooth, that's for sure. But if you have it in like in normal driving mode, like I'm in sports now, if I flick it over to there, then the gear shifts are a bit gentler. They're what you would normally expect from an auto. But look, going up sand dunes, it's kind of like really sharp, snappy changing. So in that sense, it's good, but it does feel a bit violent. Now that I'm really paying attention to how it feels, and if you hold the steering wheel a little bit loose, you can feel a lot of vibration in the steering wheel going over these bumps. Like you feel it a bit. It's not too bad. It's just something I'm noticing now that I'm thinking about it. The steering feels quite responsive. Digging into corners and really feeding it into corners, it actually feels really good. You don't feel like stuff's going to move around your vehicle. It doesn't feel like it's going to tip over on you. And look, we are stock suspension, we are low to the ground. I actually feel safer in this vehicle going up and down dunes, sideways and whatnot as well, as opposed to a raised four-wheel drive that's a bit top heavy. This is really light, so really enjoying it. Clearance wise, I haven't really bottomed out anywhere, so it's been really good in that aspect, even with, you know, lower tyre pressures and all that. Stock form, brilliant clearance. For sand, this is almost a monster, really. It just eats it up, no problems. Let's talk about the highway tyres and the vehicle as stock. If this is what you have, a stock full drive dual cab wagon, whatever it is, and you have highway terrain tyres on it, come to the beach, go to the sand. You don't need any mods at all. Perfect for that. This vehicle, perfect. It eats it up. It sits on top. It's nice and light. I actually feel this is more capable than a heavy full drive because of that. Power to weight ratio, which I already spoke about, is phenomenal. And look, once we add weight, things are going to change. So, yeah, tyres are bloody good. But don't get me wrong, these tyres might be good for sand, but mud, we all know, they're going to be absolutely useless. Stakey country, outback, useless. So it's important that you know that. Sand, perfect though. Conclusion time, folks. Hilux on the sand. What's it like? Alright. Fun to drive, check. Buy this vehicle stock, go forward driving, have fun, check. Especially sand dunes. Powerful on sand, check. There's not really much it can't do when it comes to sand. I'm really curious to see how we go when we got some bigger tyres on it. So much fun to drive. Just that automatic, just superior on sand. It's just incredible. Loving it, having so much fun. 2020 Hilux SR5 on the sand in stock form with stock tyres at 15 psi. There's not much it won't do. It will do anything you throw at it. But what would be interesting to know is once we increase the tyre size, once we add weight to it, how will it perform then? Only time will tell. But as it is, as a stock vehicle, if you just want to head to the beach for a bit of off-roading every now and then, this is a really good vehicle for it. Work and play. Alright guys, that's it for the dunes. Hope you had fun watching this. I had a lot of fun. So much fun. That's the most fun I've had in the Hilux so far through the sand dunes. And anyone who has a brand new four-wheel drive or a second-hand four-wheel drive and you haven't taken off-road yet, go to sand dunes if they are an option for you. It's the best place to sort of get a feel of your vehicle. Where to next with the Hilux? There's only one more thing we can do before we start modifying this vehicle right here, and that is to take it on a trip. And that is exactly what I'm planning right now. We're going to kit it out and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to bring for, say, like a 2 or 3 day trip. We're going to use an ice box. We're going to use all basic gear that most people have access to. And I'll do a bit of a budget score on it too, to see how much the cost of the gear is that I've put in the vehicle to head out on a short trip. And then from there, the real fun begins, and that is modifying the Luxy. Stay tuned. All right, now I've got to find my way out of the dunes.